Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Amy's English Cafe. I am Amy.
And I am Cress. We are so glad you are here with us today.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Maybe you are studying English at home, maybe you are on the bus going to work, or maybe you're even on a fun trip right now. Wherever you are, welcome.
Today, we have a very fun lesson. We are going to talk about vacations.
That is right. Vacations are the best. We will talk about what we do during a normal day when we travel, and of course, we will learn some very good English words along the way.
So let's close our eyes and imagine we are on vacation right now. Amy, where are we today?
Let's say we are visiting a beautiful town near the sea. The weather is sunny, the food is great, and there are lots of places to walk around and see.
Oh, that sounds perfect. I can almost hear the water and feel the warm sun.
Me too. I'm ready for our vacation day to begin.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning. The sun is coming up. My first question for you, Amy, do you set an alarm clock when you're on vacation?
Usually no. One of my favorite things about traveling is waking up naturally.
Me too. Let's talk about that. That's a useful expression. Wake up naturally. It means you wake up without the noise of an alarm clock. Your body just wakes up when it's ready.
Exactly. When I have to go to work, my alarm rings loudly, and I always feel a bit groggy.
Whoa, hold on a second. Groggy. That is a difficult word, Amy. What does groggy mean?
Oh, you're right. Groggy is a great word. It means feeling tired, slow, and a little confused because you just woke up and you haven't had enough sleep.
Ah, yes, I definitely feel groggy on Monday mornings. But on vacation, you don't feel groggy because you sleep as long as you want.
Exactly. When I open my eyes on vacation, I like to spend a few minutes just lying in bed, stretching my arms and legs, and relaxing before getting out of bed. It's a very leisurely morning.
Ooh, there's another big word, leisurely. Let's break that down for our listeners.
Leisurely means doing something slowly and in a relaxed way, without rushing.
I love a leisurely morning. After I finally get out of bed, I usually stretch, open the curtains, and enjoy the view outside my window.
Especially if the hotel room has a balcony. A balcony is a small outdoor area attached to your room, high up off the ground.
Yes, standing on a balcony, drinking a cup of coffee, and looking at the sea, that can make even a simple morning feel so special.
It really does. So after getting up and enjoying the view, what is the very first thing you check on your phone?
The weather. I always check the forecast.
Me too. That is so important.
Let's look at that useful phrase, check the forecast. The forecast is the scientific guess of what the weather will be like later in the day or later in the week.
Right. If you watch the news, the person pointing to the map of the sun and rain is giving the weather forecast.
If the forecast says we will have sunshine, I start thinking about an itinerary full of outdoor activities.
Wait, Chris, slow down. Itinerary? That's a huge word and it's very hard to say. Can you repeat it?
Sure, it's pronounced itinerary, itinerary. It simply means a planned list of places you will go to and things you will do on a trip. It's your travel plan.
I like a loose itinerary, but if rain is coming in the forecast, I change my plan and look for indoor attractions like museums or art galleries.
That's smart. You always need a backup plan. But before we do any activities, we need to talk about my favorite part of the day, breakfast.
Ah, yes. Breakfast is my favorite topic too. Breakfast gives you the energy you need for a long day of walking. What do you normally order when you're traveling?
When I'm traveling, I don't want to eat the same cereal I eat at home. I love trying local specialties.
That is a wonderful expression for our listeners to learn. A local specialty is a type of food or drink that is very famous in the specific area you're visiting.
Exactly. For example, if you go to Naples in Italy, the local specialty is pizza. If you go to Paris, it might be a fresh croissant.
I completely agree. I think tasting the food is one of the best ways to learn about a new place. Food tells a story about the culture.
Sometimes, instead of eating at the hotel, I leave the building and find a small independent bakery. I love the aroma when I walk inside.
Oh, aroma. That's a beautiful, sophisticated word. Listeners, an aroma is a strong, pleasant smell, usually from food or coffee.
Yes, the aroma of fresh bread and hot coffee. I usually go to the counter and ask the staff for their recommendations.
That's a great tip. A recommendation is when you ask someone, "What do you think is good?" or "What should I choose?"
Exactly. I usually say to the person working, "Excuse me, what is your most popular pastry today?" And they always give me something delicious that I never would have picked myself.
I love doing that. Sometimes you discover a culinary masterpiece that way.
Okay, Amy, stop right there. Culinary masterpiece. You're using some very advanced vocabulary today.
I'm sorry. Let's explain it. Culinary means anything related to cooking or the kitchen, and a masterpiece is a perfect piece of art. So, a culinary masterpiece is a piece of food that is so delicious it feels like perfect art.
I like that. Okay, so we have eaten our culinary masterpieces, we've had our coffee, and we are full. After breakfast, it's time to head out and see the world.
But before I leave the hotel room, I always make sure I have everything I need for the day. Once you leave, you don't want to have to walk all the way back.
Let's make a checklist for our listeners. What's in your bag?
Number 1, my phone, for maps and for taking photos.
Number 2, a wallet with some cash and credit cards.
Number 3, a reusable water bottle. Walking makes you thirsty.
Number 4, sunglasses.
And number 5, sunscreen.
Very important. Sunscreen protects your skin from getting burned by the sun. But wait, you didn't mention a big camera, a jacket, an umbrella, 3 books, and a laptop.
No way! When I'm walking all day, my golden rule is to pack light.
Pack light. That is a very common and useful travel phrase. If you pack light, you only carry the small, lightweight things you really need.
Exactly. If your bag is too heavy, it becomes cumbersome to carry around all day.
Hold on, cumbersome. Let's stop and look at that word.
Cumbersome means large, heavy, and difficult to carry or wear. A giant backpack full of heavy books is very cumbersome. It will make your shoulders hurt.
Good to know. So, we pack light. Once we're finally outside in the fresh air, what do you like to do first?
I usually walk straight to the city center or the downtown area. I love to explore.
Explore is a great action verb. It means to travel around a new place to learn about it and discover things you haven't seen before.
Right. I enjoy wandering through the streets without a strict schedule.
Wander, that's another really excellent travel word.
Yes, to wander means to walk around slowly in a relaxed way without a specific destination or goal in mind. You're just seeing where your feet take you.
Sometimes the best travel experiences happen when you're spontaneous.
Ooh, spontaneous. That's a fun one. Listeners, to be spontaneous means to do something suddenly without planning it first.
Exactly. If you have a strict itinerary, there's that word again, you might be stressed if you were late. But if you're spontaneous, you might find a beautiful little park or a funny street musician that was not on any map.
I completely agree. Walking down cobblestone streets and looking at the architecture is my favorite morning activity. I love finding picturesque little corners to take photos.
Stop the tape. Picturesque. I love this word, but it's definitely tricky for beginners.
Let's explain it. Picturesque is an adjective. It means that a place is so beautiful and perfect that it looks like a painting or a picture.
A small town with colorful houses next to the blue ocean is very picturesque.
Exactly. So we wander, we take picturesque photos, and we enjoy the morning. But Chris, usually after a few hours of walking, I start to feel something in my stomach.
Haha, yes, me too. Travel takes a lot of energy and it can make you very hungry. By midday, I start looking for a place to eat lunch.
Do you go to the big, famous restaurants in the center of the city?
Usually no. I try to walk away from the main tourist streets. I look for a small family-owned restaurant hidden down a quiet street.
Why is that?
Because those big places on the main streets are often tourist traps.
Oh, that's a good phrase. A tourist trap is a place that is created just to take money from tourists. Usually the food is not very good and the prices are very high.
Exactly. I want to avoid those. I prefer small family restaurants because I enjoy experiencing authentic local culture.
Authentic? Can you explain that word for us?
Sure. Authentic means real, true, and traditional. It is not fake. An authentic restaurant serves the real food that the local people actually eat every day.
I love that. When you eat authentic food, you really immerse yourself in the culture.
Whoa, immerse. Good word, Amy.
Thank you. To immerse yourself in something means to become completely involved in it. If you immerse yourself in a country's culture, you eat their food, you try to speak their language, and you learn their customs.
Eating lunch in a noisy, happy, authentic local restaurant is the best way to do that. The ambiance is always so wonderful.
Wait a minute, Chris. Now you're using fancy words. Ambiance. Let's tell our listeners what that means.
Fair enough. Ambiance is the feeling, mood, or atmosphere of a place. A restaurant with soft lighting, quiet music, and friendly waiters has a very relaxing ambiance.
That makes sense. Okay, so after a delicious, authentic lunch, do you keep exploring right away?
Sometimes, but if we're in a warm country and it's the middle of the afternoon, it can be very hot. Sometimes I like to take a break. I might go back to the hotel for a short rest.
A short nest can make a big difference. In some cultures, taking a midday nap is a tradition.
Yes, it helps me stay energized for the rest of the day. If I don't rest, I will be completely exhausted by dinner time.
Oh, exhausted. Let's make sure our listeners know that one. Exhausted means extremely tired. You have zero energy left.
Exactly. And we don't want to be exhausted because there's still so much of the day left. After a quick rest, what kinds of activities do you enjoy in the late afternoon?
In the afternoon, the sun is a little lower, so it's a great time for activities. I love visiting historical museums, walking through botanical parks, taking boat tours, or my absolute favorite, visiting local open-air markets.
I love markets too, the big, bustling markets where people are selling fruits, vegetables, and handmade items.
Hold on, bustling. That is a very descriptive word.
It is. If a place is bustling, it means it is very full of busy activity. People are walking quickly, talking loudly, and there is a lot of movement and energy. A busy city market is definitely bustling.
Why do you like bustling markets so much, Chris?
Because you can see how local people truly live. You can see how they shop, how they talk to each other, and how they interact. Plus, there are so many interesting sights, sounds, and smells.
And it's a great place to buy a souvenir.
Let's pause for that word, souvenir.
A souvenir is an item you buy on vacation to help you remember the trip when you go back home. It could be a postcard, a magnet for your refrigerator, or a piece of jewelry.
Sometimes at markets, you can negotiate the price of your souvenir. You can try to get a bargain.
Bargain. That means you buy something for a very good low price. If a shirt is usually $20 and you buy it for $10, that is a great bargain.
It is very fun to practice your English by talking to the shop owners at the market.
Okay, before we move on to the evening part of our vacation day, we have a special question for our viewers and listeners.
Yes, we love hearing from all of you.
Our question for you today is, when you are on vacation, what is the very first thing you do in the morning? Do you check your phone? Do you look out the window? Do you run to get coffee?
In our last video, a viewer named Maria said she always goes for a run in the morning when she travels. I think that is amazing, but I am way too lazy for that.
Haha, me too. Please tell us your morning vacation routine in the comments below the video.
And while you're there, don't forget to click the subscribe button to Amy's English Cafe so you never miss a new English lesson.
Thank you for subscribing. Now, let's get back to our day. The afternoon is ending and the sun is starting to go down.
As evening arrives, the atmosphere of the town completely changes.
That is one of my favorite parts of the day. The heat of the afternoon is gone and a cool breeze starts blowing.
Many travelers enjoy finding a special spot to watch the sunset.
Let's explain sunset. A sunset is the time of day when the sun goes below the horizon and the sky turns beautiful colors like pink, orange, and purple.
Some people call this the golden hour because the light looks like gold. It's an absolutely breathtaking time of day.
Whoa, breathtaking. That is a very strong, dramatic word, Chris.
Haha, it is. It's something is breathtaking. It means it is so beautiful or amazing that it literally takes your breath away. You gasp because you are so surprised by its beauty.
A sunset over the ocean is definitely breathtaking. It's a great time for taking photos or simply sitting quietly with your travel partner and reflecting on the day.
Let's quickly explain reflecting. To reflect means to think deeply and quietly about something. You can sit and reflect on all the fun things you did that afternoon.
After the sun goes down, it's finally dinner time. What kind of dinner do you prefer while traveling? Do you like fancy indoor places or something else?
I definitely prefer restaurants with outdoor seating, like a patio or a terrace.
Me too. If the weather's nice, eating outside is wonderful. You can enjoy the fresh air and do some people watching.
People watching is so fun. You just sit at your table, eat your food, and watch the local people walking by on the street.
Dinner on vacation often feels much more relaxed than dinner at home. At home, you're tired from work, you have to cook, and you have to wash the dishes quickly.
Exactly. On vacation, nobody's rushing. You can truly savor your food.
Oh, savor. Excellent word. Listeners, to savor means to eat your food or drink very slowly, tasting every single flavor. You don't eat it quickly, you savor it.
You can savor a delicious local delicacy, enjoy the conversation with your friends, and take your time. In many European countries, a good dinner can last for 2 or 3 hours.
I love that. After a long, wonderful dinner, we usually ask for the bill, pay our waiter, and leave a tip if the service was good.
After dinner, do you immediately go back to the hotel to sleep?
Never. Even if my feet hurt, I always take a short evening walk.
A relaxing evening walk is a wonderful way to end the day. Plus, it helps you digest all that amazing food you just ate.
Very true. At night, the streets are often much quieter. The bustling crowds from the afternoon are gone.
And many historic buildings, fountains, and bridges look incredibly beautiful when they are illuminated at night.
Wait, illuminated. Let's stop for that word.
Illuminated simply means lit up with bright lights. When a dark city turns on its bright street lamps and colorful lights, the buildings are illuminated.
It makes the city feel very romantic and peaceful. Sometimes during my evening walk, I'll stop and get a sweet treat like some gelato or a warm crepe.
Oh, that sounds amazing. A sweet treat is the perfect end of the night. Finally, after our walk, we head back to the hotel. It's time for our bedtime routine.
When I get back to my room, I wash my face, put on my pajamas, and get into the comfortable hotel bed. Before I fall asleep, I like to think about the highlights of the day.
Let's explain that word for our beginners. What is a highlight?
A highlight is the very best, most memorable, or most exciting part of an event or a period of time. So the highlight of my day might have been trying that amazing pastry at breakfast or seeing the breathtaking sunset.
That is a great word. Sometimes I like to write my highlights in a small travel journal before I go to sleep.
Writing in a journal is a fantastic way to practice your English, by the way. Just write 3 sentences about what you did that day.
That's a great tip for our students. While you're writing in your journal, I'm usually lying in bed organizing all the photos I took on my phone.
Oh, me too. I delete the bad ones and save the good ones. Looking back at photos helps keep the memories alive, even after the vacation is over.
And before we know it, we fall asleep, ready to wake up and do it all over again tomorrow.
What a perfect day. I feel so relaxed just talking about it.
Me too. Well, we covered a lot of information today and we learned some amazing new vocabulary. Before we say goodbye, let's review today's most useful expressions and tricky words.
Great idea. Listeners, try to repeat these words out loud after Chris and I say them. Ready?
Wake up naturally. Waking up without an alarm clock.
Groggy. Feeling tired and slow when you first wake up.
Forecast. The scientific prediction of the weather.
Itinerary. A planned schedule for a trip.
Local specialty. A food that a specific city or region is famous for.
Aroma. A strong, pleasant smell, usually from food.
Pack light. Traveling with only a few necessary items.
Cumbersome. Heavy and difficult to carry.
Explore and wander. To travel around and discover a place without rushing.
Picturesque. Looking as beautiful as a painting.
Authentic. Real, traditional, and not fake.
Bustling. Very busy and full of energy, like a crowded market.
Bargain. Buying something for a very good, low price.
Breathtaking. So beautiful it surprises you and takes your breath away.
Savor. To eat slowly and enjoy every flavor.
Illuminated. Brightly lit up with lights.
And finally, highlight. The very best part of your day or trip.
Wow, that is a fantastic list of vocabulary. I challenge all of our listeners to try using at least 3 of these new words in your own English sentences this week.
You can even practice by writing sentences in the comments below the video. We love reading them and helping you learn.
Thank you all so much for spending your time with us today. Whether you're at home, at work, or on a beautiful beach somewhere, we appreciate you.
We really hope you learned some new English expressions and enjoyed imagining this relaxing vacation day with us.
If you liked this lesson and want to see more, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow.
And do not forget to subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new video.
Also, let us know in the comments where you'd love to travel someday. We're always looking for new ideas for our imaginary trips.
Maybe next time we will go to the snowy mountains or a giant, bustling city.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Until then, take care, everyone.
Have a great week. Keep practicing, keep learning, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we grow.
We'll see you next time, right here at Amy's English Cafe. Goodbye.